to the Kaiser the Carter channel and the TheQuickLO206 playlist. My name is Austin Kaiser, and I'm just a normal guy. I'm new to LO206 go-karting, but I'm here to hopefully help you quickly navigate your karting journey as well. What we're going to talk about in this episode is how big a go-kart actually is and what you can do to make it a little bit smaller. Now, the purpose behind this and where I found value in this information was figuring out how I was going to transport a go-kart. I wanted to know, could I fit it in the back of an SUV? Did I have to get a trailer? And believe it or not, it was actually kind of difficult for me to find what the dimensions are of a go-kart. So hoping to get you that information today. We're going to go through a couple basic things that I hope that bring you value beyond just like what the straight dimensions are. We're going to look at the dimensions with everything on, bumpers and tires, but then I'm just going to give you a quick run through of how to take off a tire, how to take off your bumpers, and then we'll look at the dimensions with those things off. All right, so obviously we have the go-kart out here, fully assembled, all the bumpers, tires on. So from a size perspective, there's a pretty easy principle that you can anticipate following for most go-karts. Now, it's important to know, as with everything we're talking about today, obviously there's different brands of go-karts. And so with that, the specs are going to be a little bit different. But I think you'll find in general, they're going to be about the same size. So as kind of a general rule of thumb, what you can expect is from a width perspective. So outside of front tire, out to outside of front tire, you're at about 4.5 feet. And then when you're looking at the back of the cart, you can expect about 5.5 feet for the back width. And then for the length of the cart, so back of the bumper to front of the front bumper, you're looking at about 6.5 feet. So again, you got 4.5 in the front, you got about 5.5 in the back, and you have about 6.5 full length. All right, so now that you have that basic information, let's go through a little bit about how to break down a go-kart, as I mentioned. What I have really enjoyed about working on a go-kart is a 10 millimeter socket and a 13 millimeter socket will get you a long way. All right, so let's start with the tires. How to get a tire off a go-kart. As I mentioned before, all you're really gonna need is a 10 millimeter bit and either a socket wrench or a drill. An impact drill works really well. And as you can see here, on this particular set of tires, I have 3 10 millimeter nuts securing the tire. So I'll get all these off and then we'll move on to the next thing. All right, now that we've got all the tires off, we're gonna focus on the side pods here. For my particular cart, a 13 millimeter socket will do. And as you can see here, there's 2 bolts holding in that side pod. So we'll go ahead and use a socket, pull those out, and then the side pod will come off. All right, side pods are off. So moving right along, we're gonna go to the back bumper here. And as you can see, we have one 10 millimeter nut on the top. I have one on this side, and then we have one on this side. All we'll simply do is we'll lift those off. There's a couple washers underneath of it, and then the whole bumper will come off, including right here and right here. This is a bracket that holds it on there. That whole thing will just lift up, as you can see. All right, so that leaves us down to the front bumper. That's the last part we'll remove, and then we'll give you some new measurements. When you're looking at the front of the inside front of the bumper here, you're gonna see these 2 clips. So the clip right here, clip right there, that attaches to this part of the frame. So you can see this chrome bar that kind of goes across. That's part of the frame. So how this works, to detach the front bumper, so you're gonna come in, get this clip, pop it up. At that point, you have this piece under here that is adjustable. So obviously you wanna make sure it's tight. But then at the point that you can, let's see, pop this all the way up and pull that piece out, that's really the lock behind it. And so if you do that for this and you do it for this other one as well, then you'll be able to kind of push the front bumper out from here. Like these black things are part of the bumper. You kind of just pull it out and it'll pop right off. Okay, so now we got everything removed. So let's run through what the new measurements look like. And again, hopefully this helps you transport your cart a little bit easier. So with the front tires off, my cart is now at about 43 inches wide in the front. But the important thing here is that my side pods actually extend out a little bit further than my front. So for the width purposes, I'm actually going off the side pods, and that's at right about 4 feet now. And so I mean, taking into consideration what the back bumper, the tires, and the side pods were, that was about 5.5 feet, right? So to slim that down to right about 4 feet, that helps a lot. And then from front to back, now that we can just go based off of where the back bumper attaches just to the front of the frame here, that cut down to about 5.5 feet, which before it was about 6.5 feet. And so again, I mean, you're saving about a foot of space from front to back. So I hope that you found this beneficial. That's going to be what we look at today. Be sure to subscribe to the Kai's the Karter channel. Be sure to like this video. And again, if you have any questions that you want to ask, feel free to post them. We'll see you next time.